Hello, hello, hello.
What's going
Happy
on?
Thursday.
Happy Thursday. What's going on, y'all? This is the Venom and Vision podcast. I am John the Venom.
I'm Erin from the Vision.
Indeed, she is, folks.
Tonight we are coming at you live with a touchy subject.
We
So we're talking about submission tonight
don't
and
do.
and why does this word cause so much chaos? But before we get into that, we're going to open up with a little brief prayer.
You
And
did it this week.
huh?
You did it this week.
And I will lead. Father God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for giving us another opportunity to praise your name. Thank you for everything that you have given us and
Yes,
everything that you have not. We
yes,
are still so grateful, so thankful.
yes.
We ask that you just continue to bless our marriage, bless our family and friends, and moving forward, bless our businesses. And we just thank you, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
Right. Now let's get to this chicanery.
So, as you know, you can always submit your questions, or if you have any stories, you can always submit them to us and we can feature them on our show every Thursday at 8 p.m. Well, we try to be on time, but sometimes it don't work out that way. But you can submit your questions and letters to Venom and Vision Podcast at gmail.com. And so to open it up tonight, we are going to really get into this submission thing. Why is so why is it such a touchy subject? I need a
Cheers. Yeah, just cheers.
tonight we're drinking a Moscato, California Moscato.
Bridge.
Woodbridge. But so yeah.
Oh my God. Let's get this drinks. You said it all.
So let's talk about the definition of submission. Okay, let's talk about that. It is the act of yielding to the authority of control of another, compliance, obedience. Now that's what Webster says. It doesn't necessarily take that full definition when it comes to marriage. I think that women and men look at it differently. What do you think?
I think when people hear submission, they immediately lose their minds, either one way or the other way. When people hear submission, they think of slavery and be beaten into submission. You know those type of terms and things of that nature. Or you will submit to me because I'm the man, and you will do what I say because I'm the man. And then
Mhm.
women hear, um, you will be on your knees thanking the Lord that I am him and you will enjoy my wrath or fear me. And yeah, I mean that type of nonsense.
And when you say that, I say what? I know you fucking lying.
I knew you fucking lying. I know it.
Because no. Um, However, when it comes to when it comes to relationships and marriage, when it comes to marriage, it does take a different meaning. Um, it's a whole nother ball game. It is definitely a whole different ball game when it comes to submitting a wife submitting to her husband and a husband submitting to his wife. So, yeah, we would love to hear your thoughts about it. Definitely, you can comment and we can have a whole discussion today about this. Um, so who gets to define authority when it comes to marriage? Is it the wife? Is it the husband? Who, well, naturally the man is supposed to be the leader of the pack, right?
Hmm.
However, it's like the old school thing where the man, goes to work, pays all the bills, and the woman stays at home and it is definitely not like that these days.
Yeah. See, I say this. If we're gonna lead fellas, we have to be able to lead them somewhere. We have to have a place for them to go. We can't just say, I'm the man and that's what it is. You're gonna lead me. I mean, you're gonna follow my lead. To where? To where? Yeah, I mean, where are you leading these women to?
Right.
You have to you have to be a man worthy of following. You have to have a direction. You have to have a place to go. Um, a man with direction, well, a man with purpose needs a woman with a direction. If I have a purpose and she can see what my purpose is, the submission portion of that for her, because before I say what her submission portion is, there are a lot of women that have had to be the father and the mother in a relationship. Not even going to say the father and the mother, but they are single mothers and they have led their lives based on how they move and what's best for them and their children and how they have moved this long has helped them to survive. Uh, However, if they meet a man who wants to take on the responsibility of helping her or relieving her of those burdens that she had to carry alone, he has to be able to do that in a fashion that makes her be able and be comfortable with submitting that responsibility to him.
Hmm.
See, when people hear submission, um, some men take it as, well, because I'm the head and the woman is supposed to submit to me, she has to do what I say, follow my lead. But if you cheating and you lying and you're inconsistent, you're not working, you're not putting up the best foot forward for her to follow your lead, how do you expect her to submit? What is she submitting to? What the
Right.
fuck is she submitting to?
Right. Mhm. See, I think that a lot of marriages are not built the same as they used to anymore anyway. I feel like there's a lot of selfishness, there's a lot of um, just, I mean, social media has taken a toll on a lot of people's thought process, values. You agree?
Yes. And I think that's mainly because people see this falsehood of what marriage, of what people think, or what they're trying to portray marriage and relationships and interacting with the opposite sex to be. And everybody has an opinion now, and everybody has content to create based on things, and they haven't, excuse me, and they haven't even experienced the things they're talking about.
Mhm.
What kills me is these podcasters who are single and have never been married try to give relationship advice about being married. It's maddening.
Mm.
And, there's a lot of people who fall into it.
Well, I mean, I don't think you can knock those people just because they're single.
Well,
Maybe
I
they
can't.
just have studied, they've done studies, just like you can't tell somebody who's gone to school for psychology if they're counseling you,
Yeah,
they've got some kind of knowledge about it. But I agree with part of that because until they actually experience it, there's still some kind of limitation. So what happens when uh, that husband or that wife is selfish
mm,
in a marriage? Where is there any room for the wife to submit to the husband or vice versa? Because overall, it's like if okay, so for instance, if in our marriage you're leading,
hmm
all right, and I'm going to, let's just say for example, I came into some money. Mhm. And however, you're
we came
still,
into some money.
but you're still the head of the household, right?
hmm
And then I look at you like you're trying to tell me what to do, or if you're asking me to do certain things or whatever. I don't know. I'm trying to how to figure out how to put the put this.
So what? You came into some money.
Like I came into some money, however, because money has a lot to do with
What people
how
consider
people, yeah.
consider to be submissive, and it's crazy because there are women that will submit to money before they submit to love.
Like say if I came into some money and you're still like trying to tell me, oh, can you wash my clothes or still expecting me to do stuff around the house, cook you dinner, and I just want to go shopping. No, don't tell me what to do.
That goes along with whether you were even making more money than I. There are a lot of people that think who he who has the money makes the rules, or
Mhm.
she who has the money makes the rules. Um, Sure, Underwood said, no matter how much she makes more than her husband or the man she's seeing, he is still the leader of the house.
Mhm.
Um, and when women hear that, and when men hear that, there's a misconception of what that actually means. I think in marriage, though, I think men submit their entire lives to their wives because at the end of the day, we will die to protect you. That is the ultimate submission. We are here to die to protect you and
Mhm.
provide.
Hey, Bilal.
What up? Bless up, brother.
So he said women come into money and they'll leave the men that have been riding with them before they had it, and it never fails. So
Yeah,
that does
that is true.
that happens in a lot of situations,
It
and I
does.
feel you thought that that was my whole thing when we separated, but it wasn't. It really was not because it wasn't even that much money to be leaving. No,
but you got to
it
remember some of the
wasn't.
things that you said during those times.
Yeah, I know what I said, but it
Okay,
was also had a lot to do with me losing myself.
I get it, and
But
I'll take you know my portion of how I was leading as well.
yeah.
So it's hard to follow somebody who isn't properly leading.
Hmm. But that part of our we were bad with money regardless. Like we've
Trash.
come into thousands of dollars and just
No, I mean we didn't fuck it up. We
yes,
did no,
yes,
we
we
did some
did.
shit that we supposed to do with it. Like we bought
Oh
cars
yeah, we were always helpful to
we
others.
made sure we caught up on a lot of bills and things like that. But then we did fuck off a lot.
Still, overall, no real plans.
No,
But
we're a
anyway,
lot better
not to get too far off the
off the court,
subject.
right?
But that is true, Bilal, because I don't know. I
See,
don't know.
see, I don't believe women nowadays will even submit themselves to a man that isn't making more than that because there's this um, competition, I guess, right now. Women feel like there are a plethora of women that feel like they don't want to submit to a man if he doesn't have this and this and this. But now, certain things as a man you're supposed to fucking have, if you want to be honest.
Hmm.
Like you can't bring a woman into a place and you think you're gonna lead her, and you staying with your homeboy and you got a room with him somewhere, or you are running around here with no vehicle. You can't take her nowhere. You have to wait for her to um, drive you around or something like that. That you'll never be submitted to. I don't care how much money you make, because that's not grown man business.
Hmm.
You know, I think there is a problem where when somebody hears submission, they go into this, especially for certain men, they go into this place where, excuse me, where they go, well, if I'm the man, you should submit to me because I'm the man.
Hmm.
But you have to be able to understand what leadership is. A woman will lead, a woman will submit to full leadership. If she feels like she doesn't have to worry, she doesn't have to concern herself with certain things that she's had to concern herself with being single,
Yeah, it comes down to protection, safety.
right?
Can she feel protected and safe around you?
But let me ask you this. What type of a woman should a man look for in trying to lead? What makes her a good follower for a man who has those things, who is a good
She
leader?
has to be willing to be led. She can still have her own and be able to withstand life on her own. However, if she decides to be in this relationship or get married, she has to be able to submit to her husband. Like I said, it's a whole different ball game, and that's the thing about marriages now. People just don't get married for the same reasons anymore. So, uh, different values and morals, they just don't, they're not the same.
I think it has a lot to do with the way social media has portrayed what marriage is supposed to be.
It has to do with social media, it has to do with the upbringing, it has to do with, so, yeah, just people have, how people have grown up.
So Webster's dictionary defines it as the act of yielding to the authority or control of another, compliance and obedience. What would I say to add on? I think feminism has a lot of, yes, feminism has a great deal to do with it.
Mm,
A great deal to do with it.
the ego.
Her ego to justify in her mind to do, she doesn't feel bad about walking away. I agree with that too. But the definition of submission from Webster's, again, is the act of yielding to authority or control of another, compliance and obedience. And I think that is immediately where people go when they hear submission. That's for men and women. Men take it as, oh, you have to listen to me. You have to be obedient. I'm this, and women here is like the same thing, but said they're like, oh, I know you fucking lying. I'm like, who the fuck you think you're talking to?
Don't try to steal my work.
Hey, listen, you wasn't jumping on in there. But and I think that with that, with just the Webster's definition of it, it throws everything into chaos. Nobody can really move properly in hearing those words: control of another, yielding to authority, compliance, obedience. Who who wants to hear that immediately?
Right.
You know what I mean?
So is submission still healthy if the person in authority lacks character?
No, because then it becomes uh, a dictatorship. It becomes manipulation. It becomes um, something outside of submission. You know, now it's an abuse of power. You
Mhm.
know,
However, there's another point that I have to add to that.
and
When you're in a marriage, each of you are growing,
hmm
right? And you're supposed to be able to withstand that growth within each other. And the reason, like, for instance, of why we separated, I think it was a growth spurt that we were going through. And it was just kind of unbearable, for me at least, um, because I see a difference now where there are certain things that I probably would have went berserk over before that I take a different approach to. And so, like, when you tell me, because I know I don't like being told what to do. I can admit that. I don't. From nobody. I really don't.
the fact that you
But
admitted that lets me know there's growth, and it's gonna
I
snow tonight.
I don't.
It's gonna
I
snow tonight.
don't like being told what to do. But now, because I love my husband so much,
I mean, look at me.
I can actually listen. Like, let me stop and listen. If he tells me, um, babe, can you put a little these clothes in after I don't, I just did laundry, but okay, you know, but you need these clothes for work. Okay. So I'm gonna consider it's a lot of consideration that you have to have when you get married, plain and simple. So when you can open yourself up to all the things and realize that you're both growing in this marriage. So there's going to be certain things that you don't want to even submit to your husband to, but it is also a growth process.
I agree with that. I think what people fail to realize in a marriage or any relationship that's going towards marriage, people aren't submitting to each other. They're submitting to the work. They're submitting to the work of the
Mhm.
marriage. They're submitting to the work of the relationship. They're submitting to being able to grow, as you said. You have to be able to let go of certain things that aren't conducive to growth, to submit yourself to somebody else's vision of who you are and your growth process,
Mhm.
how they're experiencing you. You have to be able to submit yourself to the idea that you don't have it all correct, that you won't have it all perfect.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that goes for men and women. So who gets to define authority?
I think when you're both grown, that you should both be able to define the authority in your marriage. You listen to me, I listen to you. Let's come together as one unit
Hmm.
and listen to each other. I'm not going to tell you anything to hurt you. I know you're not going to tell me anything
Thanks
to
for
hurt
sharing the
me,
video, Bilal.
right? So let's be this unit that we're supposed to be.
I
Right?
agree.
That's just what it is. And that's the part of the reason why a lot of marriages don't last anymore because nobody is really valuing marriage.
All right, so let's pivot to, what the biblical definition of submission is.
Hmm.
Um, you can reference like passages like Ephesians 5 or
Hmm.
Philippians 2. Um, Biblical submission is voluntary and it's not forced, and it's rooted in love and not fear. It flows from mutual reverence and not domination. Um, like biblical submission is more like it's about order with responsibility. You know what I mean? So it's not um, Webster's and this is how it is and this is all that it is. You know, biblical, if you're going to be married, be biblically sound in your marriage, it's about the responsibility. It's about order with a responsibility, or um, submission always walks hand in hand with sacrifice. You know what I mean? What are you sacrificing of yourself and submitting it to your partner?
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm sacrificing this as a man. I'm sacrificing my life as a man. I'm sacrificing my my vulnerability as a man, my access to whatever it is I have to you. I'm sacrificing, I'm submitting these things to you in your following of my leadership. This is what you can have if you follow my lead. I'm sacrificing these things for you. I will lay my life down for you to follow my lead if I'm leading properly.
And that's actually something
Love you too, Pete.
that I had to understand. Um, because my understanding, and it has to do with a lot of the upbringing,
Hmm.
that man is supposed to be stronger than you. And that's including emotion, feelings. Now I'm already can be unemotional. So I was expecting you to be even stronger than me. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Emotionally. So you're the one that is able to talk about your feelings. You're able to be vulnerable and just expressive about certain things. I'm not. So it's like I like to sit with my shit. And then it kind of comes out in a different way. Just like before you would question, do I like my love for you?
Mm-hmm.
Right? But it's like, how do you not see it? Like, look at all of the stuff that I'm doing. But it was because maybe I didn't say certain things, or I didn't, show you your love language
Right. You weren't
as much.
you weren't willing to submit and sacrifice what was uncomfortable. You wasn't able to sacrifice comfortability at that time so that I can give you, well, so that you can give me what it was I needed. So you can submit to me what I needed to be able to continue
Mhm,
to submit to you. You weren't able then to be able to sacrifice that thing because it was uncomfortable for you. It was
mhm,
new. And, and that I think played a part in growth and in you wanting to separate because growing pains are uncomfortable.
mhm.
And you didn't know how to deal with the uncomfortability, especially then when there were times when you were like, you want me to change and things like that. And I was like, every different phase of our lives requires a different version of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we have to be able to submit ourselves to the work and the growth and the growing pains that comes with that,
Mhm.
you know.
I'm proud of the versions that we become now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So we do have a clip that we wanted to bring to y'all and just see what y'all views are while we're on the subject of Webster versus the Bible. It is
Makes sense.
DeAndre Whitfield talking.
He said men deal in reality, women deal in emotions. That's not all. That's not at all.
That's not at all hate. Think of all everything that comes with the emotion we know as love. Right.
I don't think love is as much as an emotion as it is a choice. I have chosen to love you. I now don't get me wrong. I love you, but I choose to continue to love you
Mhm.
because I can
No,
let me. I
absolutely.
can love you from over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have chosen to
As
continue to.
as separated as we were, I still loved my husband. Like, don't get me wrong. Even like I told you, everybody at work would be like, "Oh, your husband is where? Oh, you're gonna go back over there. You're gonna go back to him." And I was just like, nah,
Everybody knew.
yeah.
Everybody knew. Everybody saw what it was with me.
Mhm.
They saw it.
And then what happened when my good sis money money
Mm,
Imani called and she was like, he really loves you. He really loves you. She always would say that though.
yeah, Monty's been one of
Cause
my
you
cheerleaders. I appreciate her.
yeah. But let's show this clip real quick and let us know what you think. This it's a good one. It's DeAndre Whitfield talking about submission and his marriage.
And I say to you, I need you to do X, Y, and Z. I expect you to submit to my provision. Why?
Right.
Because I submit to you all day.
All
This
day.
is a dance. This is the viral moment. You know the clips that they play before the episode. Here we go, right here. The woman has all the power in the house.
All of them don't know how to use it.
Just don't know how to use it.
So
Hey, let me expound on
hold on.
let me expound on that. A feminine woman, a submissive woman, has all the power in the house.
Mhm.
They have all the power in the house. If they are feminine and submissive, and they have to know how to be that without a man making them feminine
Mhm.
and submissive. And there's a lot of nonsense that goes on
Yeah, because
that women say that he has to bring me into my soft era. As a woman, you are born that way. That is madness. That is madness.
I mean I can elaborate on that part. But yes, I agree. Because if she's a woman who has had to uh pretty much carry the marriage, if she's, dealing with a lot of inconsistency or what have you, abuse, it could be anything that is tearing her down. If she's angry, if she's depressed, she's losing that power. She's losing herself.
Oh,
But she's still staying in that marriage.
I'll never tell anybody to immediately leave their marriage if they're going through a tough period. I'll say this: a feminine woman who is submissive, women in their femininity, if they, like when we said they didn't know how to use it, if a woman truly knew, I'm not saying all women don't know how to use it, but there are a plethora of women that don't know how to truly use their femininity
Mhm.
to their power, to their use, to their advantage. Like I told you when we first got back together, and and I'm tightening, and I told you, hey, watch how you talk to me, raising your voice here and there. If I'm not raising my voice at you, don't raise your voice at me. And watch how you talk to me and those type of things. And you said, you know what, you're right, I won't do that again. And you haven't. And if there was a little slip, I check it. And things have been smooth, have they not been?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that goes both ways
yeah,
on both
absolutely.
parts because sometimes you can talk and you're not realizing that it can be a little bit like it's gonna make me say, who you talking to?
Right. But see, the way you approach it helped me to do self-correction. You know what I mean? If you approach it in, hey, babe, I don't like the way you talk to me. That will make me hit the brakes. Like, oh shit, I'm sorry. I
Mm-hmm.
apologize. What am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That'll get checked immediately without question. You know? And I think that with that, like you in your femininity, in your feminine energy, in your submissiveness, when you are, or you can be, um, and using your powers for good, it helps us and it helps me to be that much better for you. And it helps me to, again, submit more of who I am and the bricks that I try to cover my heart around so it won't get hurt to you. You know what I'm saying? Um, so let's contrast the two definitions between um, the Bible version and the Webster's version of um, submission.
So basically, I mean, my overall point that I want to make is when a man can lead properly, his woman is gonna submit naturally or nastily, as they say.
That's not necessarily true, though. Completely true. That's not true at all. Because, like you said, there are women who can have a man who has all the things that are required that they say they want. And the moment they have to correct them in any shape, form, or fashion, you were guilty of it yourself, you said. You didn't like anybody telling you anything. There are a plethora of women out here who feel the same way. Everybody can't tell them shit. Even if he's a good dude, and he means, see, a lot of women don't understand about man. If a man loves you for real, and he wants the best for you, there's gonna be some correction. Because if he doesn't love you, fuck that bitch. Whatever she do. I don't know. She can wear be butt naked. She can fuck whoever she wants to fuck with. Cause they don't care. You just there for his enjoyment until you're not.
Yeah.
But for somebody who actually does care and does want to put in the work that it takes to maintain a marriage or maintain a relationship, there will be correction. And they will be able to take correction, Trevor. That's submission in and of itself. You know, so toggling into, you know, which do you live by, and you know, do you live by the
The
Webster
Bible or the
dictionary?
Webster dictionary. Well, the dictionary, it just gives you the meaning, it explains the action of submission, but it doesn't explain the heart, right? So we know when it comes to marriage, you have to take the heart into consideration.
See, because I'll do it like that. Webster's will be, Webster says you're yielding to authority, while the Bible says you're willing alignment under godly order.
Well, it has to be a God-centered marriage.
Right.
So that has to be established 1st.
Webster's focuses on control.
Mm-hmm.
The Bible, God focuses on responsibility. What are you responsible for? What are you giving up? What are you submitting to? Webster's definition is silent on motive. And the Bible's definition is driven by love and humility. Webster's definition is power centered. Bible's definition is purpose centered.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So there's a navigation. There's no gray area in that. You know what I mean? Like, well, there is a slight gray area depending on who you are as far as your growth. I mean, if you are trying to get to a more biblically centered place,
That's the goal.
yeah,
It should be.
yeah,
It should be the goal from
that should be
from
where
the
it
start.
starts. Yeah, that should
You
be where it
should
starts.
have a God-centered marriage. So with that, the man should take control of that situation and be the head of that marriage and go to God. He's supposed to seek God first, and then the wife will be able to submit unto him.
I'll say this. My takeaway line is this. Webster defines submission as an act. You will submit. The Bible defines it as a posture. And what I mean by a posture is if we're in a room full of people and I tell her, hey, let's get the fuck out of here. Because I don't like
I'm going
it.
because he sees something that I don't.
And in reverse, like even, I don't know if it was today or yesterday, I wanted to do something. She's like, babe, but we have to do this first in order to do that. And I was like, cool, say less. These are the things that, see, the balancing act is knowing when to relinquish control in certain arenas, in certain areas. That's the balancing act.
And that all boils down to communication,
Yeah.
proper communication. So
There's a balance in trying to navigate who submits at what time. Like every now and then, I'll go off the rails and she'll tap me on the leg, and I'm like, "Oh shit, okay, hit the brakes, hit the brakes." You know what I mean? So, and you have to be able to deal with that
right.
and grow into that. You know, we have a good bit of time in the game with each other, and I've watched her growth uh, in small and fantastically large ways. And I can see where she has become more submissive in certain areas. And it also has to do with me holding myself accountable and leading in certain areas and listening in certain areas
And I've
on
seen
how to lead my
correct.
partner.
I've seen your growth as well, as far as leading properly. You've gotten a lot better with that. I can say that.
Oh, I appreciate you.
So, yeah.
So,
And ultimately, it comes down to having a God-centered marriage. Uh, Even if you're not married, talk about things that will communicate. That's what I'll say. If you're not married, communicate. If you're looking to get married, communicate about everything.
listen, if submission is biblical, the real question isn't who submits, it's who is worthy of being submitted to.
Is he a leader? Does she want to be led?
You know what I mean? Submission without love is oppression. And submission with love becomes a partnership. You know, you have to submit yourself to the work of a marriage, of a relationship that's growing to a marriage. It's work. This is work, motherfucker. It's work. It's not. It's no Disney fairy tale. It's none of that. Let me ask you this. This is what I'll say before we go to the Ask the Odins portion of the show.
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna say what I have to say. I'm gonna talk to the fellas. I want you to do the same for the ladies.
Mhm.
Then I'm gonna ask y'all a question. It's gonna be rhetorical. But you want you to look in the mirror and say, ask yourself that. See if you can answer it. Fellas, I want you to understand. You will never, not ever, get a woman to follow your lead anywhere if you can't lead yourself. You can't lead yourself to more, to better, to accountability, to growth, to God first. If you can't submit yourself to God and submit yourself to learning, to growth, to knowing that anything she tells you, if she's worth her salt, it's going to help you to grow. It's going to help you to be a better leader. You have to hold yourself accountable. You can't just point at her and say, this is why this is. You have to look at yourself. You have to submit to that woman just as much as she has to submit to you. You can't be a leader and you can't get a woman to follow your lead if you don't have a direction, if you don't have anywhere to go, if you're sitting at your mama house in your drawers with no car, no job, if your lady's taking care of you, you are not a fucking leader. You're the lady. She's wearing the pants. You might as well put on the dress, bitch. And I mean that. But I don't mean to say it that way. Yes, I do.
Yes, you do.
I'm lying. This is the venom.
So, what I have to say to the ladies, get your asses about that there. No, I'm just joking.
No, say it like you mean it. Mean it like
Stop blocking your blessings. Stop making that last bad relationship ruin it for the good one that's coming. Sometimes God takes things away and makes things bad just to see what you're going to do, just see your strength and see how you're going to maneuver. But I'd say definitely to the ladies, don't let that bad relationship that you had ruin it for the next one.
and I'll say something to the ladies, say something to the fellas in the party. Ladies.
We have a letter to read.
I don't know. We got time, man. What time? Yeah, we got time. Ladies, I need you to understand this isn't gonna be beautiful what I'm about to say to you.
Say it.
I'm trying to be politically correct
Oh my God.
and still have venom in it. You know what I mean? Because you know how my mouth is, and I don't want to jump out the window completely. I put a leg out the window. Stop that shit, ladies. Stop it. I'm not submitting to a man who this, and this, and this. When a lot of y'all are around here with 4 or 5 children, and the ultimate submission is when that man get between your legs, and you ain't like none of your baby daddy. You said that. That is the ultimate submission right there. So if you have a man in your life that is trying to put himself in position to be able to help you alleviate the things you've already been through as a woman, as a single woman, and your bad decision making in your past, if you've taken the right amount of accountability and know what a man's worth is, stop it. Stop acting like someone who really is actually trying to show you that they want to be there for you. Stop acting like that man isn't in a position to tell you anything if you don't have it. And he's trying to establish something with you. Stop that shit. But also, stop allowing yourself to be fooled by these sucker ass niggas that don't mean you any good at all. Especially if it has happened 1 or 2 times or 3 times or 4 times or 5 times already. Like sooner or later, goddamn, you gotta make a decision. You gotta start using discernment. Not all of us are bad. Damn it, all of us ain't good either. And the same for y'all. Not all of y'all are bad, but not all of y'all are good. It's part of the balancing act.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
My advice to the men: lead, lead with character before control.
You're never gonna get a controller.
Listen more than you speak. Take responsibility. Those are some main pointers. That's all I got to say about that.
Bitch ass niggas.
Mm-mm. So here we are.
Here we are.
Ask the Odoms is our next segment here where we receive letters from you. And we have your permission to read them on our show.
This is our first
So,
email we've gotten.
our first letter for Ask the Odoms we have received from Kayla Rock 93. And so, and here is the letter. Hey, y'all. My name is Kay. I was scrolling on YouTube and I saw your show. I love how y'all love on each other. It's good to see grown folks who can talk without it becoming disrespectful. Anyway, I'm seeing a man who is married, but he doesn't love his wife. He said he's getting ready to leave her. He gives me everything I want except him. He pays for everything, my mortgage, my car payment, gifts, and whatever else I can think of. Recently, we were spending time together, and I see in his phone correspondences with not only his wife, but making plans to go to the mountains with another woman, telling them both he loves them. Should I feel some type of way, or should I just ride this gravy train until the wheels fall off? I want to really tell his wife because I'm number one once they get divorced, but I'm not about to be dealing with a whole bunch of women. You feel me? This is a question not just for Erin, but I want to hear from John too. Thank you.
Mm.
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 First of all, and my first point is why are you, okay, dealing with a married man? That's my first point. Because when you make that decision to deal with this married man who has committed to this woman, you already setting yourself up for some drama. And now you see that he's basically a serial cheater. Cause see, there's another woman that is that you said you looked at his through his phone. You look it through his phone because you can't trust him already. So where at what point do you think that this is going to be in your favor? You need to get your affairs in order and you need to exit that relationship because he's never going to give you 100% of him. Even if he divorces his wife, he's still going to have another side piece on the side of you. What say you? Dang, thank you.
What say me? Read it to me one more time.
Oh my goodness.
I'll let you get off. I'll let you get off.
Now Steve Harvey, he read it when it's his time to go.
I want to take my time to let it marinate. I got just
All right. Hey y'all, my name is Kay. I was scrolling on YouTube and I saw your show. I love how y'all love on each other. It's good to see grown folks who can talk without it becoming disrespectful. Anyway, I'm seeing a man who is married, but he doesn't love his wife. He said he's getting ready to leave her. He gives me everything I want except him. He pays for everything, my mortgage, my car payment, gifts, and whatever else I can think of. Recently, we were spending time together, and I see in his phone correspondences with not only his wife, but making plans to go to the mountains with another woman, telling them both he loves them. Should I feel some type of way, or should I just ride this gravy train until the wheels fall off? I want to really tell his wife because I'm number one once they get divorced, but I'm not about to be dealing with a whole bunch of women. You feel me? This is a question not just for Erin, but I want to hear from John too. Thank you.
well, here comes the venom. Okay. I say you shut the fuck up and ride into the wheels for me.
What?
I'm gonna tell you why. Because you've already signed up for this shit. What made you believe that a man that is cheating on his wife is gonna hold any loyalty to you? He's paying for everything. You can stack your cheese. I think you should shut the fuck up and get back to work. Because if you like working for Luther's janitorial service, shut the fuck up and get back to work. Because, like, you're talking about he doesn't love his wife, but he hasn't loved her yet. You continue to allow yourself to be number two. So sit your ass on the bench and play your position. And if there's another girl on the team, so the fuck what? As long as she isn't getting anything that is taking away from what you're getting. You have decided that this is the life you want. What the fuck are you gonna tell his wife for? For him to end it with you too. Because if you think for a minute that he's going to leave his wife because you told on him, and even if his wife leaves him and takes half, if his wife takes half, guess what that means for you? You get half of what you were getting as well.
Why do you always elevate your voice like that
I
when
don't
you're talking about stuff.
I want the point to get across.
It can get across with you speaking right.
Hey, she asked for my opinion. I think you should shut the fuck up and get back to work because clearly you have no plans on going there. You signed up to mess with another woman's husband. Another woman's husband. You signed up for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you signed up for.
Yeah.
You shouldn't feel no type of way at all. What you should shut the fuck up and get back.
I don't think anybody heard that.
Oh, you should shut the fuck up and get back to work. Straight up. Cause like, what are you mad for? The only person in this situation that should be pissed off is the wife.
And she probably don't even care. And she probably knows. She probably knows that
And
he's
you know what she's
outside.
doing? Riding the gravy train. That's what she's doing. She's just in the front of the train.
Because she knows she's already got the upper hand.
She's in first class. So whenever
Yeah.
she feel like she want to cut this motherfucker's head off, she can. And
Oh,
guess what?
especially if they got kids.
Man down. And you sitting your dumb ass there getting fed grapes and shit in the back. And you worried about what the other girl getting. Why? Why? What? What's that gonna do for you? Ain't gonna get you nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's gonna get you? Broke and fucked up in the game. Looking to be somebody else side chick.
Mm-hmm.
Cause you ain't got so used to being a side chick, you're really not gonna know how to be a main chick. Because as a side chick goes, you don't have the responsibility of accountability. You don't. Because all he has to do is be like, oh, if he says something to you, you be like, shit, nigga, you ain't my man for real. You married. When you get with a man who isn't,
Mm-hmm.
it's party over. You can't do what you used to do with him because you can with a man who's single.
Right.
There's accountability involved in that. So, Kay, what I would say to you is shut the fuck up and get back to work.
All right. Well, again, we would like to invite you to send in your letters, questions, if you have for us, to our email, venomandvisionpodcast@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. And if you have a story, we can read it on next week's show.
And
Every
also, if you
Thursday.
want to be remain anonymous, put anonymous in the joint,
Put anonymous.
and then you'll be anonymous.
Yeah.
And even if we know you, we ain't gonna say that. We ain't gonna say it's you. We'll keep it between us. You dig?
But definitely chime in with your questions. Any stories that you want to share with us or any suggestions for a show? We'd love to hear from you. Definitely give us a shout out. And we will do shout outs too. If your birthday's coming up, let us know in the email and we'll shout you out on the show.
If you want me to just,
Venom and Vision podcast@gmail.com.
and if you ever want me to just get crazy on somebody, just put in the email. Or if you want to hear Erin, because she's far more
Smooth, not
smooth.
smooth.
I am.
Tasmanian devil.
Listen, again, I don't immediately start with that. However, I have it on me all the time. But she's far more If we were
Nurturing.
if we were a musical instruments, she would be a harp. You know how beautiful a harp sounds, and it's beautiful, and you can relax on it. In the middle of that harp, I'll be having the meanest electric guitar rip you ever.
That's the truth.
Break that shit on up.
Thank y'all for tuning in. We will see y'all next week. Hold them out.
Peace.